How's it going?
Finished. How are the kids?
Well, as well as can be expected. There was a lot of stuff. You should have let me help you.
Yeah, it's humiliating enough as it is without having company.
Well, it's a rambling old joint anyway. Something modern will suit you a lot more.
With the money I've got left, I'm not going to be able to pick and choose.
Well, I can send you part of my pay each week. It'll help.
I was wondering about the job, actually. I think you ought to throw it in.
Why?
You only joined to please Martin. And you've still got part of your 10-week option period left.
I'm liking it.
At the moment, maybe. But we've got too many problems for you to be tied up with something like that. I'm going to need you a lot more now. We've still got Angela's problem to sort out. You'll only end up resenting the job if it gets in the way of helping us.
Well, why should it? What I need most to help you is money. So what's the point of chucking in my job? As for Angie, there's nothing we can do until we know where she is.
Well, of course, you're in a perfect position to find out. What are you going to do, organise aerial sweeps of the country?
Stop it. Today's the last day we should be talking about it. The furniture, the house, everything. No wonder you're in a lousy mood.
Well, I just think we ought to
We're going to argue if you keep at it. Here, why don't you go out until it's all done? It should only be a few hours. Well, let's not fight. I promise, once today's out of the way, we'll both sit down and talk about it. But not now. Morning. That's all right.
Swing the end of the rod. That's it. Go on. Want a hand? Wouldn't say no. You hold this end. I'll give him a hand at the back.
Yeah.
My dear Patricia, despite everything you've done to me, knowing what I'm about to do, I can't stop thinking about you. I love you so much. I suppose in a way I can't blame you for hating me. What I did to you all those years ago obviously took on a much greater importance in your mind than it did in mine. I honestly never meant to hurt you. Perhaps my problem through life has always been that I've never really thought about how others thought, put myself in their place. If I had, I'm sure I'd never have left Barry to die the way I did. I didn't leave this letter with the one to the kids because I wanted only you to read it. No doubt the police and others were dragged into the whole mess. I didn't want strangers reading this. I hope you'll have a happy life, and that you'll forgive me for what I've done. If there's any way you can help the kids get over my death, please forget your feelings for me and do so. I worry about leaving them to fend for themselves. Goodbye. And I love you.
Police, can I help you?
Here's your proof.
Oh, it doesn't prove anything. I mean, if Martin did take his own life, well, the police would have been able to tell.
Not if somebody interfered and tried to make it look like murder.
Oh, don't talk nonsense.
What if you found him and hid the other letter that he mentions here, the one he intended for his children?
David Palmer's fingerprints. evidence were on the gun.
Ah, yes. David. No, come on, Margaret. I'm not a fool. You're trying to set me up. David happened to walk in at the wrong time, and now he's in jail.
You're only guessing. Nobody'd believe you for a minute.
Unless they happen to read that letter. If I can work it out, it's not going to take the police very long. Or the prosecution. Well, I had a little chat with my solicitor. Asked him a few hypothetical questions about tampering with the evidence.
And?
Well, they don't hang you, but 6 months inside for public mischief. I mean, you were better off in the bookshop.
Why are you so concerned for David all of a sudden?
I'm not.
What do you want?
I might be willing to get rid of Martin's embarrassing letter if you tell me where Paul's taken Angela and...
Yes?
If you agree to take a nice long trip and don't come back.
You won't use this to clear David?
I don't owe him a thing. I can see you need some time to think about it, and I've got to get to Martin's funeral. So I'll leave the letter with you. It might speed up your decision. Oh, it doesn't matter what you do with it. I've got the original safely tucked away.
How are you?
Okay. Thanks.
Jen doesn't look too good. She's just a bit tired. Yeah, maybe. I'm keeping an eye on her. Yeah, sure. Look, I just thought if you need a place to go after, you can come to my place. Could be the best thing. I'll see about it with Jen.
Captain Ogilvy, this is my mother, Mrs. Hamilton.
How do you do?
How do you do?
May I offer my condolences and express the sympathies of Martin's friends on the force?
Thank you. Everybody's been very kind.
Shall we go in?
I'll be with you in a minute. I just want to see how my sister's bearing up.
I'll meet you inside the church.
Thanks.
How can you be such a hypocrite? Martin is dead.
You really do have a talent for stating the obvious. Have you given my proposition any thought?
This is hardly the place to...
Suit yourself.
It's nearly over.
Yes. If no one minds, I might leave. I just don't feel like going to the cemetery.
I understand. I'll help you to find a taxi then.
No, really, I'd rather walk.
Patricia's sister looks pretty cut up.
She and Dad were very close.
I didn't know.
Well, you've been very brave. Martin would have been proud of you. Can I be of any help this afternoon?
No, thanks. Kevin's looking after us.
Oh, as long as you've got somebody, that's the main thing.
The worst is over.
Oh, I wish that were true.
Sorry?
We've got the dreadful business of the will to get through yet. I hope Martin's provided for you both.
We'll be all right. Dad was always super careful about anything like that.
That's what I'm concerned about, actually. I just hope he wasn't too quick off the mark in making a new will, because we were going to get married. Well, I'd hate to think that you could lose the house or something on a technicality.
Well, as far as I know, he hadn't touched it. The solicitor contacted me this morning to get Adam's address. So if he's still in it, it must be quite old.
Oh, good. As long as you're both covered, that's the main thing. like living in a mausoleum.
Sorry?
It was bad enough before, but it's hideous now.
Maybe you should have moved out before you sold.
Oh, manage. At least I don't have to pay rent.
I've thought about what we were discussing earlier. What I should do.
And?
Well, I've got exams back at the base. We'll get those out of the way, see if I can get some time off and do something about Angie.
So you're definitely staying in there?
Yeah.
Thank you for the support.
Patricia?
Oh. My name is Dunn. Margaret Dunn. I'd like to book a ticket on tomorrow afternoon's flight to Perth. Oh, there's someone at the door. I'll ring back later.
Hi, I'm Kevin Palmer. I'd like to talk to you.
I've told you everything I know, and I have a headache.
I'm not trying to hassle you, but there may be something you heard or saw that could prove Dad is innocent.
I'm as convinced as you are. I simply can't help you.
Look, you could go to the police, talk over the details. Maybe something you know.
I've been over the same ground again and again, and there's nothing more I can tell anybody. Look, this might be hard for you to understand, but Martin meant a great deal to me. I find it most distressing being forced to discuss his death.
I don't mean to make a pain of myself, but my dad's in jail. I want to help him if I can.
If, as we both are agreed, your father is innocent, I'm convinced he'll get off.
Oh, terrific. My granddad says to say a prayer. What's your suggestion? Keep my fingers crossed or something? Why did you come around offering Mum money? You don't even know my family. Looks to me like you're worried about something.
Oh, don't be stupid. I was worried about your mother, about all of you. I had a bit of money tucked away. I thought maybe it could help. I'm sorry I bothered now. If you've got nothing else to say, I'd like you to leave.
Hope I haven't wasted my time coming over here.
As I sit on the phone, I'd like to get things sorted out.
Good.
I'll tell you where Angela is. If you go to the police and tell them about your argument with Martin.
Why?
Convince them that he was depressed, that he was in the frame of mind to suicide. That will give them something to work off and take the attention off David.
Now, why would I want to do that?
Because he is innocent.
David and Beryl did everything they could to turn my children against me. I'm not going to put myself out for him. Oh, if you're so keen to get him off the hook, why don't you go to the police yourself?
You know I can't.
Oh, because you won't take the risk of going to jail.
I couldn't. Nothing's ever gone right for me in my whole life. You can't expect me to give up everything I've gained in the last few months.
I'm not.
I couldn't stand being in prison. Not even for 6 months.
It's up to you.
David's boy Kevin was here yesterday demanding to know about the night Martin died.
Sounds to me as if you haven't got a great deal of time to play with.
Paul's taken Angela to Mumbai.
Very clever. It's the last place I would have thought of.
The letter, please.
You'll get that when I've made sure you're telling the truth. The guest house confirms Angela was booked in there, but she's moved across to the Mumbai homestead.
You could have taken my word for it.
Better safe than sorry.
Can I have the letter? You've got what you want.
Not quite. The other part of the bargain was that you would leave and never bother me again.
I've made inquiries. Is Perth far enough away for you?
Provided you stay there.
I've got nothing to come back for.
Tell you what, let's do the job properly. I rather fancy a nice little bonfire to celebrate the fact that I'm getting you out of my hair. Well, you've got to watch. This is the best part. We can both enjoy David's last chance of being released. Going up in smoke.
Good morning, Woombye Homestead.
May I speak with Angela, please?
Well, you can't speak to her. Paul brought her here to get away from you.
Oh, and of course, you're such good friends that you're just dying to help him. I knew you'd do anything to get back at me, but I didn't think you'd jeopardize Angela's health to do it.
What do you mean?
She is supposed to be under regular psychiatric care. Or has Paul been too busy dragging her around the countryside to tell you that?
She hasn't been dragged anywhere.
He is the worst person she could be with at the moment.
I could think of one worse.
What you think doesn't count. I'm coming up there to collect her and bring her back here where she can have the proper care.
I'd save what's left of your money if I were you. The staff will be instructed not to let you on the property. You're not going to get anywhere near her. Do you understand?
Oh, you gave her a mouthful?
Yeah.
Do you think she'll try and come up?
No, I doubt it. She's not much of a threat now she's broke.
Could you do me a favour?
Sure.
Could you put that in the letterbox?
Right.
Oh, I was just coming up to see you.
Getting the rest
I've
of my-
just had the most amazing conversation with Fiona.
Not your first.
Oh, this is serious. I got Margaret to talk. Angela's at Woombye.
How did you get it out of her?
Oh, I bluffed her. Well, the problem now is, Fiona says if I set one foot on that property, she'll have me thrown off. She's going to look after Angela.
She probably thinks she's doing the right thing.
You'd believe her if she said black was white.
I know she wouldn't let anything happen to Angie. That's the main thing.
And I would.
Of course not. As far as I'm concerned, it's a relief knowing where she is. What stops me worrying?
I'm not prepared to take the risk. I'm afraid I don't see any alternative, but
What?
you'll have to go up there. She won't stand up to you.
I can't.
Well, why not?
I've got exams. I'm almost due back at the base.
Damn the base. What's more important? Exams or your sister's health?
If I seriously thought Angie was in trouble, I'd be up there like a shot. She's probably better off where she is than seeing some psychiatrist. Why don't we hold fire for a while instead of turning this whole thing into a tug of war?
I saw Rosie on my way in. She says you're on the warpath. What's up?
I've just had Patricia on the phone.
Does she know Angela's here?
Yes.
What did she say how she found out?
Oh, it's probably just a shot in the dark. But that's not the point. Why didn't you tell me that Angela is supposed to be having psychiatric help?
I thought it was more important to get her somewhere she could relax.
You're taking rather a lot on yourself.
It's working, isn't it? When I brought her here, she was a wreck. You can't say she hasn't improved, and that's only after a day.
Well, I must say she is rather chirpy.
Well, then what are you worried about?
If the doctor recommended psychiatric help, that's what Angela should be having. And she should be back in Melbourne having it.
And copying any amount of interference from Patricia. What good will that do her? I promise, if there's a slightest sign of deterioration in the condition, I'll take her straight back.
All right. But I'll be keeping a very close eye on her.
I'm positive you won't see anything to get worried about.
Going for a walk. Have to get out of this place. Oh, who was on the phone just now?
Mum? Copped an earful.
What over?
Too stupid to talk about.
Things still a bit shaky between you two.
Worse than ever. Can't wait to get back to the base. I am sick of being expected to do the right thing by everyone else but myself.
Thanks very much.
Don't you sound so hard done by? As bad as the rest of them the way you carried on earlier.
You can hardly say it was carrying on with no house, no furniture, and about $50 to my name.
Yeah, well, all the more reason for me to make sure I hang on to my job.
You've used that excuse before. It's a cop-out. Just don't want to face up to your responsibilities.
I love you, Patricia, but you're not my responsibility. You're not helpless. Why do I have to come up with all the answers?
Sorry to be such a nuisance.
You've got talent, contacts, you're good looking. For God's sake, use them all. You want money? Go and get a job. Won't kill you to work. I'm not going to study down here.
All right. If you won't help me, I damn well will do it myself.
Mrs. Hamilton, Mr. Freeman will see you now. Oh, it's okay to go on through.
Patricia, good to see you.
It's nice to see you, Andrew.
It's good to see that your recent run of bad luck hasn't changed you. You're still as beautiful as ever. Well, what can I do for you?
I suppose you could say I'm calling in a favor. To put it bluntly, I'm looking for work.
Here?
Why not? I put a sizable account your way via Ramberg.
Yes. I'd keep a low profile on that if I were you. We still haven't been paid for that last batch of stuff we did.
Hardly my fault.
Not the way some people see it. Around the traps, the word is that it was your, interference that sent Ramberg down the tube.
Do you think so?
Don't really care. But I wouldn't go expecting too many doors to start opening for you. Blokes at my level, the ones that roll up their sleeves and get stuck into the work, don't really have much time for people who treat business as a hobby.
Don't you think I could handle a day-to-day job?
Maybe, I don't know. But the world of public relations is pretty cutthroat. And it's the young bloods that get the best of it.
Like Madam outside?
Don't take it to heart. I just want you to know the facts before we continue this talk.
I'm listening.
You're not cross with me, are you?
No. You've made your attitude very clear. Obviously, I'm not up to the hype of the PR world.
Patricia, it's just that you're a little bit out of the mainstream, and in PR, track record is everything.
Sorry I've wasted your time.
Look, I really do want to help you. I'll tell you what, my girl Friday, Sharon, is due to go overseas in about a month. Now, if you wouldn't mind filling in for her while she's gone, when she gets back...
Oh, no, thank you. I don't see myself as anybody's receptionist.
Patricia, wait.
Girl Friday gone walkabout?
Oh, she's probably popped out to get my afternoon tea. But I've got a better idea. Why don't we adjourn to a quiet little restaurant across the street? Maybe I have been a bit hasty. I'm pretty sure we could work something out. I really would like to see a lot more of you, Patricia. I think working together becomes more appealing by the minute.
It's a job I'm after, Andrew. One where I can use my business talents. Oh, I hope you find somebody else to pop out every time you feel like a sticky bun.
No luck?
Nope, nothing. Not that you'd care.
Oh, come on. I had a go at you to try and get you helping yourself. Well, you've started.
It was a totally humiliating experience.
You can't expect much on the first day.
Oh, nothing could have prepared me for what I went through today.
What's a couple of knockbacks?
Well, knockbacks would be fine if that's all they were.
What happened?
Oh, the first interview started out on a really high note. I was offered work a schoolgirl had turned her nose up at, and then a half-hearted proposition to check into the nearest motel.
Oh, come on.
You're the one who wanted me to take the plunge into the real world. And this was from an old friend, mind you. The next two I tried didn't even bother to be polite.
Something will probably turn up tomorrow.
I'm not going to put myself through that again.
Well, you can't give up.
Can't I?
I thought you had more staying power.
Nice try. I think you'd better answer the door. Whoever it is doesn't sound like they're going to go away.
Kevin, you hear about the trouble with Mum?
No. I want to see Patricia.
Now's not the right time.
Can't wait.
John's right, Kevin. Now is not a good time.
Where's Margaret?
Margaret?
Yeah, your sister. Where is she?
I don't know.
I went to Jill's flat and she wasn't there. The neighbour said she'd moved out.
Knows more than I do, then. How should I know where Margaret's got to?
You're her sister.
That doesn't make me her social secretary.
Okay, look, if you're not going to tell me where she is, you can at least answer a few questions.
Not now, eh, Kev?
Everything points to her knowing something about Martin Healy's death.
Another one of Mum's hunches?
You might not care what happens to Dad, but I do.
Cool down, Kevin.
I'm not over fond of my sister, Kevin, so I'm probably the last person you should be asking. Quite frankly, I think you're a little old to be playing cops and robbers. The police are handling your father's case, so just leave it to them.
I don't care what you think. I'm going to help Dad in any way that I can.
You're not helping anyone, Kev, by carrying on.
I can see whose side you're on.
I've had it, Kevin. I've had it. For getting in the neck for facing facts.
You don't give a damn about Dad, do you?
Look, mate, I know you're upset. There's no reason to go barging in on people and flinging accusations.
I figured out where the money came from. Why would Margaret leave town now?
Not about as much proof as when you thought it was from me. I bet you're about as close to the truth as you were then.
What's the point?
Don't get mixed up in things you can't handle.
At least I care about Dad.
Don't kid yourself, Kevin. He must have done it.
Why don't you go back inside to her? That's where you belong.